Be sure to
Shalom, family. Sorry for the delay in getting started. I had a little problem with the computer and YouTube. But anyway, this one is titled, Is Earth on Fire Still? And the reason why I titled it this is sometimes time may go by, right? Because I've done probably a good 2 or 3 videos about fires in the world, Africa and other areas. And sometimes time will go by and things happen, right? And it's almost like winter time out here right now. So that when that time go by, we all seem to get a sense that maybe things then died down about the fires and all this, right? No, they haven't. Matter of fact, things have increased. And I'm going to show you this. But I want to go to the scriptures first because I want you to understand this, right? Let's go to this scripture in Ezekiel. Okay? Now, this scripture in Ezekiel is a prophecy, and it's not exactly a prophecy about these fires here, what's going on. But I want you to understand that when Yah starts something, ain't no stopping it, right? And so this is a good example of prophecy that's being fulfilled because the scripture does prophesy about things heating up in the last days. But anyway, this is Ezekiel chapter 20 and this verse 45. Okay. And this is what it says. Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face toward the south, and drop thy word toward the south, and prophesy against the forest of the south field, and say to the forest of the south, Hear the word of Yahuwah, thus saith Yahuwah, thy Elohim. Behold, I will kindle a fire in thee, and it shall devour every green tree in thee, and every dry tree, and the flaming flame shall not be quenched, and all faces from the south to the north shall be burned therein, and all flesh shall see that I, Yahuwah, have kindled it, and it shall not be quenched. Understand what I mean when I say this. Think about this, right? The word tells you the prophecies that's going to come to pass, right? And ain't no quenching this flame. It's not going to go away. Trust me on this one. It is not going to go away. Okay? I don't care how cold it gets out here. These flames are going to be burning all over this planet here. And the things are going to get worse because that's the scripture, right? So, understand that. Now, let's go to the prophecy that's in Revelation. And we're going to go to Revelation chapter 16. And this is verse 8. It says, And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scourge men with fire, and men were scourged with great heat, and blasphemed the name of Elohim, which have power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. So as you see, Yah's going to use the sun. And if you notice, look at all the places where it's heating up, right? It's all, and you don't see it heating up like this in North Pole and in the colder areas in Canada and in those Siberia and up in those areas. You don't see it heating up like, you don't see it burning up like that. Although there have been some fires in some of these areas, but it is mostly in the other areas. And so this is why we got to be concerned, because Yah has already prophesied, right? And it's not going anywhere. It isn't going anywhere. It's not going to be quenched, okay? The flaming flame is not going to be quenched. So I got a couple of articles I want to read to you. The one particular about the earth fires. It says here, is earth on fire? The European Space Agency was asking this question late last week as multiple fires burned across the globe. Look at that image. What's amazing is This image was actually taken a couple of weeks ago in October, around October 25th. And they said these are the fires that were going on in the last 24 hours from then. So, do you see this? This is crazy when you look at it, right? And we covered this before, but I want you to look at it. It says the question late last week, October 25th, 2019, as multiple fires burned in Lebanon and in California and elsewhere on the globe. So the earth is on fire, just like the article is saying. And if you notice, that's like we said before, notice the areas they don't want to report on. Africa is burning. Look how bad Africa is burning. This whole areas are red in Africa because they're burning this bad. Wow. So now I want to show you this video. I want you to pay attention because this is what's going on in Australia right now. Because, you know, Sydney, Australia's capital. Now, need I remind you, you know what these nations did to Australia. How they went in Australia and they raped the Aborigines, right? The original people of the land. And they subjugated them, right? And just, now everything has changed there, right? But you got to pay for this. You just can't go into places and do wickedness and think that it's not going to come back on these nations. That's why fire is burning everywhere, because they have done wickedly everywhere. And Yah said, I'm going to reward them with wickedness, right? This is the word, right? Now look at this. This is Australia. This is red. Look at the sky is red because of the fires. Do you believe this? Look at this. This is near Sydney. $92,000 people have been affected. Wow. Now, these Australia fires, I want to read this article to you. Okay. This article says, winds of ferocious fires in Australia's most populous state. A catastrophic fire warning was in place for Sydney, Australia's largest city, where the large blaze threatened homes on Tuesday. Ferocious fires were burning at emergency level intensity across Australia's most populous state and into Sydney's suburbs on Tuesday, as authorities warned most people in their paths that they were no longer was no longer time to flee. New South Wales state is under a week-long state of emergency, a declaration that gives the Rural Fire Service sweeping powers to control resources and direct other government agencies in its efforts to battle the fires. The worst fires on Tuesday emerged in the state's northeast, where 3 people have died and more than 150 homes have been destroyed since Friday. A catastrophic fire warning was in place for Sydney, Australia's largest city, where a large blaze threatened homes on Tuesday afternoon in northern suburb Turramurra, which is 11 miles from the city's downtown area. So, can you see what is going on? This thing is real. I mean, this is real. Ain't no dodging this. This is really crazy. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine looking at the skies like that all around you? And wait a minute, let me say this right. Australia is an island. And it's like, can you imagine fire like that all around you, and you in Sydney, you know where Sydney is. It's right off the water. And it's heading towards Sydney. It could possibly just corner everyone in and burn everything up. I mean, this is the kind of thing that's going on. So I couldn't imagine going outside looking and seeing red skies everywhere. I mean, that would make it hard to sleep, you know? Now, what's amazing is that's what's going on in Australia and other parts of the world. But watch this. This is what's going on in other areas of the United States. Now watch this.
That winter blast bearing down right now on the Midwest, heading for the Northeast. Already bringing half a foot of snow to some areas and a deep freeze with it. Ginger starts us off with the latest. Ginger, good morning. I almost cried saying those words to you.
And I almost cried telling you what I'm about to show you. So it really was 3 to 6 inches of fast snow that came from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, we were seeing right there, shutting down highways back to Wisconsin and causing series of accidents in Minnesota. But it's the astounding cold that'll take us 20 to 30 degrees below average and reach in some parts as far south as Texas that you'll really notice behind all of this. So let me time this all out for you. Go ahead and show you what's going to happen. You know, the cold air is represented by the streamlines that are in blue here, but see the warm air? We're going to be in the 50s today, all that orange. But watch the blue, that blue area, that represents 32 degrees. This starts at noon, and from noon till 7 a.m., the entire state of New York is taken over by sub-freezing temperatures. So 7 a.m. tomorrow, you're all freezing. You add that wind, and the wind chill will feel like 18, say, in Albany by tomorrow morning. I know that our friends at News 10, Jess Briganti, she is all over this, and she will be covering it. But a lot of meteorologists are going to be covering it because look how deep this goes, guys. By early next week, we put on here Tuesday morning, polar air sinks all the way to make Dallas feel like 21, George, and stay freezing there.
Wow. So you see, while others are preparing for flames, you get other folks that are worried about snowstorms and ice and freezing weather, which was going on half across the United States. We talk about it from as high as Michigan and New York to Texas. That's a lot of states in between those two. And so this is what's going on there. And then on the outside of all of those states, fires burning. Man, that got to be crazy. I'm telling you right now, fires burning in California and in other areas of Texas and other areas throughout the United States. Fires are burning and you got all this ice and snow coming down. Wow. Well, I wanted to bring this to your attention, and I want to keep bringing this to your attention because I don't want you to fall asleep thinking that, hey, we don't have to, prepare for anything, and we just continue to, be at peace. Understand what I'm saying here. Have shalom, that Yah's going to work it out. But at the same time, right, prepare and be ready and know what's going on in this world. On that note, family, I'm going to say shalom, and I hope this was a blessing to you. Love you, family.
Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.